Hello everyone, welcome to my channel We Learn by Sharoon. I am Shraddha Banode, Assistant Professor in Department of Electrical Engineering of St. Vincent Pallotti College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur. In this series, we are learning synchronous machine, and in today's session, we are going to concentrate on measurement of subtransient, transient and steady state reactance of synchronous machine. So let's get started. So let's quickly start with measurement of subtransient, transient and direct access reactance. So for whenever we need to draw a equivalent circuit, whenever we need to draw an equivalent circuit, we always go for single phase parameters, and hence we are going to consider a single phase alternator here, and we are assuming that there is a no load condition, and if such alternator which is on no load suddenly go for short circuit or fault condition, what exactly happens? So when there is a sudden short circuit, initially there is only leakage reactance present in the machine which is limiting the short circuit current. Okay, because resistance is because you know that the coils are very less resistive and it is highly inductive in nature. So the leakage reactance which is present is the only thing which is limiting the short circuit current, and also the current is having 90-degree phase difference with the voltage. The current is having 90-degree phase difference with the voltage. The current lags behind the voltage by 90 degree, and that is why the mmf which is produced by such current is of demagnetizing nature. The mmf which is produced because of this nature of current is demagnetizing in nature. Okay, and it actually reduces the pole flux from its original value, but it does not happen instantaneously. It takes time. So the flux cannot decrease suddenly because of the stored energy associated with the coil. So that is why the sudden change is not possible. All right. So this is what is the equivalent circuit of subtransient reactance. So initially there is only leakage reactance acting there, but you know that with time, for after few cycles, some more reactances comes into picture, and these three reactants, which is damper winding reactance, which is field winding reactance, and which is armature winding reactance, this reactances comes into picture. These three reactances are in parallel nature, and the parallel combination will be always connected in series with the leakage reactance. Okay. Now, after the sudden short circuit, the equivalent circuit appears like this, and the overall reactance which is appearing is XL plus the parallel combination of these three reactances. So you already have drawn this circuit in last class, so we'll just have a quickly recap of this particular part of the PPT. Okay. Now the conditions where there are the three windings are there, and the conditions are in such a way that first of all which winding will appear, first of all which winding will appear, and then how this windings will be, how this reactance will be cut off from the equivalent circuit. So here there is a field winding reactance, as I told you, XF, damper winding reactance, XKD, and also there is a armature windings reactance which is represented by XA here. Okay. Now, these three reactances are there in parallel combination, and the equivalent circuit reactance is given by XD double dash is equals to XL plus the parallel combination of XAD, XF, XKD. You know that whenever there is a parallel combination, it is always reciprocal of sum of reciprocal of all the resistances. So similar relationship we are going to apply for the reactances as well, and this will give you the value of XD dash. What is XD dash? Sorry, and that will give you the value of XD double dash. What is XD double dash? It is nothing but it is nothing but subtransient direct access synchronous reactance. I repeat, what is XD double dash? XD double dash is the subtransient direct access synchronous reactance, and its value given by XL in series with the parallel combination of all three reactances, that is damper winding reactance, field winding reactance and armature winding reactance. Okay, this is called as direct access subtransient reactance. So this is a repetition for you, and the value of Xg double dash will be less than the transient access reactance, and that is Xd dash. The value of subtransient reactance will be always lesser than the transient reactance. Xg double dash will be always lesser than Xg dash. Clear? All right then. So this is what is the comparative equivalent circuits I have tried to show you here. So this first figure is the for subtransient where XL is in series combination of parallel combination of these three reactances. When you go to transient reactance, actually XDW disappears. The reactance because of damper winding disappears. So the damper winding effect disappears after subtransient period and it is no longer effective and it is no longer required. Okay, so only two reactants are into picture when you talk about transient period, and that is XF and XA. XA is the armature winding reactance and XF is the field winding reactance. Okay. Further, when the oscillation damps out and you reach to steady state period, then XF effect also disappears. Field winding reactance also disappears, and you just have the series combination of XL and XA. XL is the leakage reactance, XA is the armature winding reactance. So let's concentrate on transient reactance now. So let's talk about direct axis transient reactance. So as I told you, the effect of damper winding disappears after the first few cycles, and that is how in transient calculation of transient reactance, you don't have damper winding reactance. Okay, and the time constant is small, which is associated with the large currents. Okay, so the damper winding has less inductive nature than that of field winding, and that is why it dies out first. That is why the inductance of damper winding dies out first. Okay, the machine reactance changes from subtransient to transient effect, and after the first few cycles, the equivalent circuit figure appears like I'll show you in the next slide. But definitely, the value of transient reactance is more than subtransient reactance, but it is less than direct axis reactance, that is XD. So the value of xd dash is given by the series combination of XL plus the parallel combination of XAD and XF, and it is known as transient reactance. The value of, see, this is the equivalent circuit of transient reactance where you can clearly see XL in combination of parallel combination of XF and XA. This is the figure equivalent circuit during the transient period, and after the few cycles of subtransient period the equivalent circuit looks like this, and the value of xd dash will be smaller than xd but it will be greater than xd double dash, and it will be given by the expression xd dash is equals to xl plus 1 upon xd xad plus 1 upon xf, and this is known as transient reactance. All right, so this is all about the transient period, transient reactance. I hope this is clear now. So steady state reactance, you can see the equivalent circuit. I further removed the reactance because of field circuit, and there is only two reactants working right now, XF and XA. And this is how you can easily conclude that XD is greatest, क्योंकि यहाँ पे जो XA है ये डायरेक्ट है, जैसे जैसे पैरेलल कॉम्बिनेशंस में रिएक्टेंसेस बढ़ते हैं उसका इक्विवेलेंट कम होते जाता है, and hence this is the proof that xd is greater than xd dash is greater than xd double dash. Okay, now after the transient period the fault current reaches to its steady state value, that is the normal operating value, and that corresponding reactance is now called as direct axis synchronous reactance, and it is represented by xd. It is represented by xd, and it is very clear that xd double dash is less than xd dash is less than xd. What will be the expression of xd? Xd is clearly equal to xd is clearly equals to xl plus xa. xd is clearly equals to xl plus xa. So this is how you can give the expression of xd as well here. This is a steady state reactance. Okay, again I am showing you this figure because this is very important figure. This is very important oscillogram of subtransient, transient, and steady state. The currents, I have just shown you the equation for reactances. The currents which are flowing during subtransient, transient, and steady state are given by I double dash, which is equals to E naught upon xd double dash. You just know how to calculate xd double dash. Similarly, I dash is equals to E naught upon xd dash. I is equals to E naught upon xd. So this is, I already told you before also, you can either represent steady state current by I or ISS. It is one and the same thing. Okay. The oscillogram of current is there. We're neglecting the DC offset current in this figure because we are taking the uniform waveform and we are assuming that DC offset current is somewhere ignored here. And subtransient reactance, if you want to get it from, suppose you are already know the transient, subtransient and steady state current, and then you need to find out xd double dash. So you can either find out reactances through the equivalent circuit, or you can find out reactances through this equation also through the oscillogram. So this xd double dash is equals to e upon oc by root 2. Oc by root 2 is nothing but the subtransient current here. OC is the maximum value, and that is why we are dividing by root 2 to get the RMS value. So XD double dash is equals to E upon I double dash. Similar transient reactance, XD dash is equals to E upon I dash, and steady state reactance is XD is equals to E upon I, which is the steady state reactance. Alright, I again repeat, OA, OB and OC are nothing but the maximum values of steady state current, transient current and subtransient current, and that is why we are dividing by root 2 to get the RMS value. So this is all about the measurement of reactances, measurement of subtransient, transient and steady state reactances through the equivalent circuit we have shown in today's session. All right. So I hope things are clear to you. If you have any confusion regarding any of the topic I took in these sessions, you can put it into comment box. I'll try to sort your problem. I'll try to solve your problem and reply to your comments. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not yet so that you don't miss any of the upcoming videos, and press the bell button right next to it. Thank you and happy learning.